Welcome back to yet another episode of Ubuya Nayo. Hey, ibinzima into besikuyo kule viki. Ibinzima gqithi into esikuyo kule viki and saqonda saniphathela indoda enxibe ijezi erongo. Kwale jezi lapha tasosha. Kwale jezi lapha. Ininzi libisenzeka kule weekend guys, but I've got obviously my man Base on my right. You know Base kudala sancokola ngilapho upeperezayo. He never stops talking, but I've got a new guest for you guys. A man that Mbiza Itunyam Utawam, super sport commentator. We commentate together for I don't know how long now. It's been 2-3 years. I just don't know, but we've been in this game for a very long time. A man who's put me in the game, of course, Mr. Sosha, Mr. Sport himself. Bura, kauza zisemane bahlelini.
Manibulele kuwe Mpemvu ngibulele labo ukhwala ndoza ukuthi yeke ijezi namsebenzi ndoza ukuthi man kuba abantu abaninzi no base aba nawe abantu abaku inspire shayi kwayilo All Blacks bana stop lo nto ngoku yeke ijezi ndoza kuba ka ibhoko xa uzayichela Mpemvu uyijonge esikhumbeni uyayijonga isize yayo kuba abantu abangayichaza ukhwala inyani kodwa ka stop lo nto ndoza ukuthi babukele emakhaya masibulise ndoza ukuthi ndibulele Mpemvu nakuni ngokwenda ndamkela ndoza ukuthi kule episode.
Ibinkulu into bisenzeka kule weekend, guys. Like I said earlier on, you had the two giants of world rugby. I still call them the two giants. Of course, the defending champions, the Springboks, and the team in Lopra. Okay, I call 30, 40, almost 40 points.
The biggest school.
Yeah, man. And because he's our guest, let's let him defend the jersey that he's wearing. We're going to let him defend the jersey that he's wearing. Maybe he will tell us, mhlambe uya WhatsApp no Foster pause umxelela indone rongo ikhe yenzeka kula game. Kasichazele bhuti tasosha yinoni ngoku. Yinoni ngotasosha ndaqhola 30 into ethuke nam.
Uyabona Mpemvu akhona onzayenza idefender kulento. Masinike icredit ku Springboks. Kuyabonakala ba Springboks futhi umdlalo waso uya improve ngoku. And you know what I like about Erasmus? You know what is working for Springbok, akafuna uyichange. If it's not broken, why you fix it? Continue with it. And it's really frustrating for other countries because if you're talking about the Northern Hemisphere countries, ziyapanika because abakwazi ukuyidefend ngendlela adlala ngayo Rasi. And with the bomb squad now, with +1 now, with 7-1, you've got Kwaka Smith off the bench, you can play wing, you can play center, you can play flank. It shows that he's got a Tikoloshe out there. But he didn't credit before he get New Zealand. Like game, but it was a friendly game. It was not a friendly game because the game between the Springboks and All Blacks, it's not a friendly game. Both countries, they play for a pride. Now with Springboks, they did everything right like game. Intensity was too high for All Blacks. The kicking game was smart for Springbok, and it was. I don't know what to say in Mpemvu. Basibethe kuzo zonke iziphako zomdlalo. Ithi kicking game South Africa because amaxesha amabekade kuliwa nge-kicking game Springbok, but the kicking game was spot on Faf de Klerk, and both wingers now was a quick phangasemva amadoda amakhulu amaphimbi bazibukathi omakazola emaphimbi bengiqala ubone All Blacks ikhatyela ibhola Will Jordan abangabuyinwayo khwalo dadikhona ingxaka sithe zawufika iSpringbok the first 10-15 minutes is line out ungakwazi ukuyidefend line out Osen Kane blame leadership because ba commit offense ay-1 more than izihlambe eziyi-5 or 5 times. Lanto bana awukwazi umteklisha ngosinto sebosgqebotsho maxa comment you can't tackle a man esesemoyeni you have to wait for him afika abantu but beteklisha abantu besemoyeni 5 times ubamba ipressure ngamandla ngoku bathe bawufumana amakhadi that ichile indle umkhwetha ngoku endichile indle umkhwetha bhuti zakhutshwa zonke izinto zabethwa hayi ndanele mntanam sendinxibe nzobakela ivukuvuku sendinxiba nginophelwa ngumtshato fondini uba kanje usayinxiba with pride bhuti because it's you know this jersey when you're wearing a Springbok jersey and a New Zealand jersey bhuti this is the pride of rugby kulapho abantwana abaninzi bebe-inspire khona because remember Jonah Lomo, remember Joel Strans ngamadoda akwazi ukusimotivate sizelo sibazi asiwazi amadoda amaninzi lembhoxo but uyazi uba xa kuthiwa All Blacks versus iSpringbok lidabi bhutel kodwa ke job well done Jabina Brian Erasmus man bothula umnqwazi kusekusasa kodwa sinisixhosa ke bhuti uzungawudela umqulu ungazibalanga iyadi
nimvile ke udikele khwalo kudala fona urhawuzelela lapho ufuna uthetha kudala urhawuzelela ufuna uthetha Mr Stats Mr. Stats himself. Mr. Stats, kasiphe bhuti. Ininzi noyibhala nomrhoqololo ubhale apha. Awuthethe le ibhale apha bhuti. Nomrhoqololo wakho. Kasiphe tata.
I'm happy. Too much. Just going to the game. I feel, you know exactly what the Springboks are going to do. Hence, SHNIU. Are you going to be able to stop it or are you not going to be able to do it? I mean, it's something that they've been doing constantly since 2019. But the trick is now, they've tweaked things around that. Hence, then you'll find that when they played against New Zealand, possession, by winning. And then two, we kept on pressing New Zealand in their half the whole time. When we had those lineouts, they started to panic as a siege boot. Now, my point is, you know what's coming. Now, you have to prepare yourself at this stage for Ismail's figure. Like, for instance, if guys are going to play off the top and all these tricky little moves, and you'll never think of that when it comes to Springboks, because you always think Springboks are going to do this. And Uras has been saying this, I've been preparing. Uras wasn't preparing for 2019 World Cup. He was preparing for this one. That's the danger part. And we were in a conversation the other time. You were saying, Bana, chopping and changing on all of these players, is it beneficial for the SA team or for the national team? Of course it is. Are they reaping the rewards at this stage? Of course they are, because they've got depth and everyone is tuned on as to what's going on. Hence, I don't think we have ever seen, my favorite part, you just bring on 7 guys from the bench.
Yeah.
You know, so the Springboks do have depth. But in saying that, the amount of intensity that the All Blacks brought from that first game, when we lost to the All Blacks, especially in the first 20 minutes, first 30 minutes, that's exactly what the Springboks did. Now, we know what New Zealand is going to bring. You know what SA is going to bring. Now, my question is, going into the World Cup, those teams are going to be dangerous. And both of them, to the wire.
All right, now, Daniel Wanitin, Kwalo, Tigela. Now, for the first time in a very long time, we find that the All Blacks are now the underdogs. They're being labeled the underdogs. All right. And there's a quote. No. Wait.
Underdogs.
No, I mean, these are pundits. These are what they say. Asquazu piggies. All right. Foster was quoted saying, wow, that loss now takes the pressure off the All Blacks. And now they can prepare in silence. Blah, 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 blah. They needed this loss. Did they really need this loss? Was it good? Is it good, in fact, for any team, especially a team like Ireland, who I think they're the ones who are going to go into this World Cup unbeaten. It was going to be them or the All Blacks as well if they'd won this. But is it good for any rugby team to actually go into a World Cup? Masiphendule nje quick loo nto.
Uyabona Mpevu zii-mind games engafuna ungena kuzo zika-Foster, but emandiyithethe Mpevu inye i-All Blacks ibingekayifumani laa fithi siyaziyo.
Yeah.
I-All Blacks angikwazi uba dominant ngalaa ndlela siyazi ngayo. Iyaqala ukwenzeka le nto and bebesayifumana ke ngule form yabo eqala ubuye sebezobethwa zezi-Springboks, you know. But the good thing, they won a rugby championship. Now makavuma ukubethiwe zezi-Springboks clean futhi.
Yeah.
And akanayi-plan ye-Springbok, because remember kwakulaa game babetha kuyi-Springbok ngapha eNew Zealand, uRuss noJacques nabo bayibhuda ngokunyusa iqela kwa-early, but bazibona iimpazamo zabo kuba bayilungisile laa nto ngoku ayikwazi bhuti. Xa ujonga i-basic izicrums ze-South Africa indlela bezidominant ngayo, i-Rucks indlela bezidominant ngayo, xa sisiya phaa Mpevu u-Iron Force uyayifila ipressure ngoku.
Yeah.
And uyayazi ijob yakhe iphela uScott Robertson uyeza ngoku. Lelo ncama mntanam ukuthi uyavuya kuba kusetyenzwa njengaphaza hayi uzimkile inkomo ngoku.
Just more important is, most of the tries, especially from New Zealand, are scored off lineouts.
Yeah.
Let me take you somewhere first. The first 3 phases for the All Blacks are the most important phases,
Definitely.
especially from a lineout.
Definitely.
Yes.
That pass from Smith to the first receiver, it's a split second.
Yes.
Now it gives them the advantage line. They pass you water.
Yeah.
Now when the Springboks were so dangerous, they stopped that phase. The second one, stopped that phase. Third one, stop that pace. Because in New Zealand, they want to go to width, especially towards the 15 meters.
Yeah.
Then when they come back, mate, it's
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
What that look, Hello Smith?
I would not be Lucalo.
Now my point is, we're sitting at a place where now the New Zealand is going to do their homework, and they're good at that. That's one thing the All Blacks are good at. All Blacks are not the underdogs, mate. They'll never be. They'll never be. But in saying so, we'll await. Masibone abantu ba ndona zakwenzeka kule World Cup. Because siyibonile ngokubana izinto zibheka ngaphi.
Bonwabile abantu bayabraya mfundi.
Ewe man nimvile ke udikele namva nokhwalo ke ethethe pepereza ehlobathanda ukwenza ngalo guys. A good game though. Very good. That was good for rugby, especially in Twickenham, the home of rugby. But not to dwell too much on that, we're going to move on to our next topic. Njengoba bebenditshilo ke guys, bininzi igqithi nebisenzeka kule weekend. Of course, the Springboks went and absolutely dominated the All Blacks, and then something else happened. I think something that we did not expect. Akhona eyi-one indoda okanye intombi enondixelela uba ibe expecta le nto. Mhlawumbi kwakhona laa ndoda eyi-one ke yayibhejela kuBetway yaphuma thixo nemitha something kuBetway madoda. Yakhe yenzeka ke le nto back in 2015 when there was actually a man who betted on Japan winning against the Box, and hey thixo waphuma ngeemitha kuthiwa usatya zona nangoku ezamitha kuthiwa ikaphela mitha fundise phezu kwayo fondini. iFiji madoda nantsi ibetha iEngland, iFiji nantsi ibetha amangesi. Tasosha khwalo ayini madoda nantsi irabhi sothusa nantsi irabhi sothusa
Ayinothusa.
awuthukanga wena. Also wena kuBetway wakho ubhalile phaa iFiji izoyibetha le England.
Utotyile khwalo.
So yeah,
The reason why I say that, let's look at England, where it is at this point of time. Just leave the rugby as a whole. Just the coaching methods, the players that they have. Do they still have the players? Most definitely they do. And those are the players that were performing that they lost in the Rugby World Cup final. So then, what could be the cause by England? And you can see it in their face. Their attitude. Are they hungry? Do they want this? Does it mean something to them? When they've lost, do they feel the disappointment? It's more than rugby at this point in time, and something's wrong within the camp. Just don't know what it is.
Unendaba
Just don't know what it is.
Just unendaba ukhwalo Tikela dibela phaa kuwe bhuti.
Yabona mbeve manje ithethe onke amazwe bhuti ayafika kule phase England ifike kuyo ngoku. Ngoba kana ugqiba uthi iJapan yenza indumasi yabetha uMzantsi Afrika. Yabona ke bhuti emasiyincome inye abadlali baseFiji ikhona into abazanayo abaspecialize ngayo. Ubuya baqaphela uninzi lwabo lukhona kwi-top 14. Lukumaqela amakhulu oToulon noToulouse noRacing Metro ngapha ya. Xa ufika ngapha eEngland kula championship bayadominate ngapha. Ithi ke lonto ilizwe laseFiji alisafana kuqala ngoku. Xa ubheka koma All Blacks ngoku bebesiproducer lapha oRokokoko oSitiveni Silivato. It shows that la country as a state ikhondwe naso. It ke with the proper coaching kuba xa ufika amadoda abizwe awuqeqesha phaa ayakwazi udibanisa bhuti. Ithi ke lonto the Pacific Island aza nobungozi nanti sabona ibixake basikho kuloo nto ibixake iIreland apha ngoku yaphuma ngefestival but sikho silapha eFiji ngoku. Ithi ke lonto bhuti la maqela ngoku ayayifumana nkululeko abadlali babo badominant banako ukuzithemba ngoku akusekuthiwa hayi baspecialize kwi-sevens ahamda phaa kwi-50s bazawuba yingxaki. Sabakhona isurprise apha
kule World Cup.
Ukhona ozawulahla watsho uMrhareni wathi ukhona ozawulahla kule World Cup andimazi bangubani balahlile abantu ngoku eMzantsi Afrika ngabe Twickenham.
Ndiyakuva ke ngoku ana.
I fully get him. Like I really do. And we must give credit. As I think sometimes we get to a place where, because of the underdog, excuse me, we don't give them too much attention or kind of praise. We always want to look at the bigger sides. Where I think maybe England is in a good space, you never know. Maybe if Fiji has just come in the ranks and they are improving. And a lot of sides have done that, and they are doing that. You look at your Italy, you look at your Scotland, they're doing well. And the research that they bring in, the players and the money that's going in there to make sure these players, do perform. But yeah, mna i-once athenga England, beka kwabuya uFez nje. Wabuya uFez. Sitemane eqala emqaleni.
Bengani banayo ifake eqalaba. Novula ipola bashaya la shoulder.
Hey, Kwalo. But if Fiji can improve, we've seen Fiji come up, give us a very, very good win, historic win. But Fiji's improving on one side, Australia on the other side. Australia on the other side.
Team Jones are gonna line yet.
It's in the
line Jones.
Don't be an ass. Don't be an ass. Hey. Evanil, my daughter.
Unandwethu Jones ngoku. Unandwethu. Asasho ninayi-1 kuJones ayithandayo. Indoda engaswele esikelweni sakhe. Uyikhupha phandle ka.
And urani uzawuthini? Uzawuthini lakhwalo?
Siyela xaqo.
Wazawugqiba bhuti into basincome kodwa kuyo iAustralia ayizoyibamba indebe yehlabathi abasivumelana but akazukutsho kuba kaloku abantu bafune wonke umuntu waseAustralia ufuna indebe iyephi ibheke eAustralia but as a head coach kufuneka unikeze hope akwazi uvela unikezele but mandikuxelele ezantwana zincinci ziyakhula ezantwana uwachithe andimazi bemsaba uQuade Cooper makawile ibox ngoQuade Cooper ahambe manje uyophumla kweza round ubujonga iteam yakhe average age yakhe bhuti ngamajongosi la imiqalwa azayofumana experience khami World Cup elandelayo akayithetha lana jonga uziqonda bana ikhona imbewu afuna ityalo ubize uSteve Hansen obize uSteve Hansen akayanga wina World Cup kuyotyalwa pha bhuti iyawuthi ifika indebe yehlabathi elandelayo ifika iAustralia itshintshile bebeke bayixaka eNew Zealand ibone pha bukhona umkhubo oza kwenza kule New Zealand bayixaka but abakwazi umanage i-first half badlala i-40 minutes dali nengxaki bana okay i-experience abanayo but wabona ba iNew Zealand zikhona ingxaki kule New Zealand.
But umbuzo wami is ba okay, we've followed Eddie Jones's career for some time now, and do we really think that he's actually going to improve this Australia to the point where they will become World Cup contenders? Every team that he's been in, Eddie Jones way, he's head coach, they've always been problems. All right, got to England, problems with players, and he takes in personal problems. Coaches, we've seen Mitchell leave midway. Yonke Lord, he's with Australia now. When all of a sudden Hooper's not there, one of his coaches left during World Cup preparations.
Attack coach, yeah.
Attack coach, he's left. Like, you know, Eddie Jones ngapakathi. So, uzozana la drama again with this Australian side. How will it affect this Australian side?
Hence, I always go, it's the personnel that you have, mate. And if he feels, Bana, these are the guys I'm willing to go with, then they understand him. That's the thing I've always said. Coaching is only 40% or 30% of what you can do at Berlin. 70, push it to 80, it's personnel, mate. When I bring you Junes, are you going to be able to do this job or not? Are you hungry enough to do it? I can give you the skills, but...
Oh, wathetha umqeqeshi madoda. Wathetha uforwards coach madoda.
They've got to get the buy-in.
Yes.
If he achieves that, as a Sejum Kulo, if they achieve the buy-in from Eddie Jones, don't focus on all these nitty-gritties. He knows. He knows his story. That's one thing for sure we all know. He knows rugby. Question is, what are you there for? Those are constant questions and the boring questions and those cliche questions that you will have to ask yourself on a daily basis. Players must get distracted, mate. Eddie Jones has been around.
And ukongeza bakukhwalo Mpemvu then i-effort efunekayo bizawusuka kubadlali because i-coaches azidlali phakathi ebaleni wena as a player ucinga ntoni ngelizwe lakho uyayiva hlobo njalo uzayinika i-plan but i-players can think out of the box.
Alright.
I-players ayingomatshini bhuti mazicinge nazo mazizilwele and ungamnika i-skill but intliziyo yabona xa iplayer ligwala noba ungayithela nabo asayinceda mntana funeka ibe nesibindi awuzithembi
Lanto Springbok inayo.
sifike njalo kwisibhiza abane-Australia emadoda sibhiza abazi-Australia ngokwelibhek sifuna ntoni.
Hey, masichitani nivile ke madoda. Those are the views and opinions of the two men right beside me. But whatever you guys think, of course, so bona ku comment section klanda usithanda uqabana kuyo nanani madoda. Madoda just man ngogqibezela and this World Cup we're going to France 2023. Is this the most unpredictable World Cup that we will ever see? the most unpredictable World Cup in the history of World Cups zerugby. Because akomna ngachisiyo ngoku. And zonke teams zilapha.
Blazing.
Ayisekho lando we uyazi ba. Whoa, Springboks zilapha. The rest of the world is here. All Blacks is zilapha. The rest of the world is here. Ayisekho ngoku lando. Because in the end, guys, this if Fiji is better up. Hey, in the end, guy man, nyiki man. Nyiki. Do you understand? Will this be again the most unpredictable World Cup we've ever seen? Together.
Bem, andiqondi but aqala uba nje kudala kwaba nje. Teams from Northern Hemisphere ziqala uba dominate ngale ndlela for years. Siyayazi be indebe yehlabathi ibheka phi ibheka emzantsi. Southern Hemisphere iyeza le ndebe yehlabathi. Ungayiright out indaba ye-All Blacks. But now Springboks is the favorites and funa ukujika apho. Ayizuya phezulu. Kudala ama-French mana ayenza le nto abethu nako 8-7 anga othiri duso bade bayeka no-Fred Mishalak zange bayifumana no-Sebastian Shabak bayincama. Andithethi ngo ayale kudala baba ngo-number 1 izawuzapha ku-Southern Hemisphere but
Buri
Pendo better, but
Buri
uthi haka njengo kuthenga lubethi kapa upanga.
In this World Cup, I feel like there'll be a change. How? I don't think we're speaking about players that teams have at this moment. But is it the change room?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys behind the scenes, mate. And you've seen it NZ,
The management.
New Zealand, you've seen it on Springboks, you've seen it with France, you've seen it on the island. And those are the four. These are Puma World champs, left four. They've been there. Especially in New Zealand and New South Africa. They've been dominant. These are Puma. Hence I always say, it's the change room, guys. Your Rassi, your Jacques, we're not even speaking about players at this point in time. But we're speaking about the guys that are in charge. Eddie Jones bringing in Henson. What are we going to see? What are we going to see? Because our players one man is going to be dominating at the World Cup. It isn't about that. Now it brings me to the point that there are players. I think most teams are covered. Now, ukochi, nanti equipment yako, nanti nayo nayo. What are you going to do with it? Now is the mind game. It's 80 minutes. I think the teams have gotten to the point where they can go with the physicality.
Uyajikeleza ukuthi uyapepereza. Kudala ligwala qasa ithini yakho.
Into yami ithi mna whoever mnamkhulu has got the game plan and the strategy and the personnel. Uzawubuya naye le World Cup. Ndiyakuxelela. Uzawubuya naye.
Ndiyakuva kwalo.
Uzawubuya naye.
Ndiyakuva kwalo. Ndikela nandi kuvile.
Back to back.
Kuthiwa back to back kwethala. Kuthiwa back to back, and after this weekend, of course, South Africa jumped to number 2. Ireland still number 1. So la top 4 muthatha ngayo. Ireland, South Africa, France, and New Zealand. Ngabo babetha. Those are rankings. Those are top 4. So uliphakathi kwabo. But we will see an upset to the World Cup. I'm sure we're going to see an upset. We just don't know what is Okwenzeka P. We've seen it 2015. We've seen it 2019. With 2023, I'm telling you, we call it an upset as a Sotusa Nyan. But Motusu bra, yabo, upetwe wakushushu, yabo, Klamuza upeta, tin, but so man, guys. But anyways, just to wrap everything up, man, thank you so much for all the subscribing and watching Ubuya and I. We do appreciate you guys. Of course, we finally hit that 1K. Says Fiki left 1K. Then Chile guys. What can I bonus start when? Just to celebrate to 1K, say Copa not 1K. Upper Stephen corner 9, Scoopy 1K. Where's gonna brow win the between? Yeah, Copa 9 1K. Yeah, Copa 9 1K, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for always watching and staying loyal to us. We will see you next time on the Boy and I Cortex Hub, Film Hub, and Ghost Nakoni Buso Media. This wouldn't have happened without you guys. Dango!